How you doing, everyone? New World Order Survival Guy. Today is September 11th, 2025. Um, as you all know, yesterday there was an assassination on Charlie Kirk. Um, he was murdered in front of thousands of people. Amongst them were his two children and his wife. Um, Very tragic, very gruesome, broad daylight in the state of Utah. As you all know, there's some funny business that's been popping up so far. And that's mainly the points I want to get into. Um, as you can tell by my heading, was it a sacrifice? I don't know. And I'm not saying it is for sure, but there's some interesting things that's going around that is completely relevant to ask that question. Charlie Kirk was a Republican. He's been chatting with Trump and been to the White House and so got recognition that way. I guess supposedly help build up Trump's campaign and stuff like that. So the points I want to get into with this is, well, first and foremost, my heart goes out to his family. I've watched Charlie Kirk roughly 30 times on the internet, and his debates and stuff like that. Real smart dude, real witty, and just highly intelligent guy, especially when it comes to debates and stuff like that. Me personally, I don't agree with a chunk of stuff that he believed in and says, but that's fine. This is America. We all have that right to disagree and stuff like that. Nothing to do with so much a political standpoint, but it has to do with the political standpoints. He's pro Second Amendment, so am I. He's family man and stuff like that, and that's what makes he he's one of the good guys as far as I see it. Like I said, I didn't really know too much other than what he showed on his videos. I know he supports Trump to the fullest. I do not. I don't support any of them crooks. So that kind of scratches my head about that. I mean, if you're a smart guy, you should know that Trump is corrupt. And as well as Israel and stuff like that. It's not that I'm pro-Palestinian or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with some other topics. But that's not the point of this video. The point of the video is that he was taken out, and this is weird circumstances because our government works for the globalists, and them all together do some crazy stuff. This is just my thoughts. I'm not trying to say anything other than my thoughts. But assassinations that happen in the United States, such as like Kennedy, the left and right were in on it. They know who did it. They still know. Trump knows. But he just playing stupid on letting the public know. Because they're all globalists. They don't want and they have no interest in really discussing what happened. Because they're all in on it together. There's just no good guy in government. It's only globalist puppets and trying to shine away the American people from the truth. First of all, it's hard to believe that they didn't catch this guy yet as of September 11th. I mean, you shoot from a rooftop. I mean, it's not like they had Secret Service there or anything like that, because he's not an elected official. But, I mean, you get all these reports saying, oh, this dude must be a professional to do what he did, how he did it. So, and then that got me thinking, because, you know, one shot, carotid artery, boom. Then you get people to say, well, I could shoot 200 yards and hit a target and stuff like that. You got to think. I mean, I could hit a target at 200 yards. I mean, almost anybody can. But how in the hell did he get up there? And just everything seemed like it was covered. And then he supposedly disappeared, possibly, if it was the same guy, disappeared in the neighborhood. I mean, shots ring out. First thing people do, gonna look up on roofs, because that's where a lot of shots happen. But there was reports of a plane leaving, I think in Provo, just an hour after the shooting, and that plane left. And then it illegally turned off its radar 40 to 50 minutes into the flight, where it just disappeared. Illegally, because it's completely illegal to turn off your radar at any time in flight, unless you're some kind of military or political type deal, like president or something like that. So that may or may not have nothing to do with it, but federal agents can track, okay, well, what plane was that turned off his radar, and then go investigate that. But who's going to have that much pull to do all this? Because this was a completely orchestrated event that took place. And then when you get to the plane deal, you're talking about you had some weight pulling that off. This seems like it was coordinated by higher officials of some sort. It's pretty crazy, man. Was this a sacrifice? Not for political reasons, but for control reasons. Is there going to be more policing? Because they've done this type of shit many a times, where they create a situation, and if this is the case, and then Charlie Kirk could have been sacrificed for one of these type of situations. Is divide and conquer, definitely. More added example of gun control reasoning, possibly. They always like to do that, but I'm more stand on the divide and conquer. They always talked about Civil War, Civil War, Civil War. Well, I never understood what do they mean by Civil War, because they made it sound like the illegals that come in here and, and then we're going to go against that and stuff like that. But a civil war is a war within its own country, within its own people. Maybe like Democrats, Republican type people. But that's not what the illegals were. The illegals are not from this country, so it'll be more of an invasion, which would make it more of a war instead of a civil war. So I never understood, like I talked about in some previous shows, it can't be no civil war. But on this incident, it's like, whoa. And then you get all these liberals that are praising and cheering on his death and just being real nasty and demonic. It's sickening. So I'm thinking, is this what they mean by civil war? They're going to do little incidences like these because there's people pissed. Really pissed, like ready to go up in arms with these weirdo libtards. I don't know, man. I think in my heart that this was some sort of sacrifice. They're going to sacrifice this dude. Because, government don't give a shit. They don't give a shit what political standpoint you have. You're disposable to them, So, is it a sacrifice for their cause, for a globalist cause, for divide and conquer, for gun control, for a distraction? That's all they do is, and they say that there was more, is a few of them at least had to have been involved with this. And if that's true, there got to be some kind of leak. There got to be something, loophole. How did he get away with that on the roof? There were so many thousands of people there. I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't speculate for sure, but that's what I'm leaning towards. It's gotta be some sort of sacrifice of some sort. Because these globalists and stuff make examples of a lot of famous people. And they won't hesitate. So that dude was so wrapped up on Trump. Maybe they thought he'd be perfect to, because his audience was huge and is growing dramatically. There's something fishy. We're not going to find out. I'm going to do another show later after more stuff surfaces and stuff like that. But it's just something ain't right here. A guy was murdered in front of his family, in front of thousands of people, and viewed by millions and millions of people. Yeah, there's something not right here, and it's not some random fruitcake tranny that just got up on a roof and took him out. There's something more involved with this. Well, he got shot with a 30-06 at 200 yards. I mean, was he aiming for his neck, the carotid artery? See, that's a big one too. Because that's a damn good shot. And I don't think that guy had much for optics, because they supposedly recovered the gun on. It wasn't even on the roof. It was somewhere else, man. They wrapped up in something, but it was a bolt action. So it still had more live rounds in it. I don't know if that's a bullshit cover up or whatever. I don't know yet. It's too early to tell. But he, yeah, man, that's a bad situation. That's no good, man. I feel for him, his family. Yeah, that's bad. It's pissing a lot of people off, like the Republican type people. They're real pissed off, and I've seen some of them. They're like, it's like, dude, that's something like they want you to do, because there's all kinds of good stuff that can come out of that from their standpoint by people reacting in a violent way. They love that shit. They love it. Yeah, get mad. Fight, divide, conquer, deception. They create something, whether they knew or not. It's just everything fits into that type of category. So, I don't know. I just wanted to put that out there, man. There's something to think about. More truth got to come out later when you start hearing more people's testimonies that were there. More people are going to talk. I'm sure a bunch of people talked already. It's just not out in public yet about pretty intense things that they've seen. Right now, they're just saying, "Oh, this person's a murderer. Oh, this person is. Oh, this person." They're just bum, 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 bum. It's a huge distraction to what's going on for everything else. Are they doing some sly shit on the sidelines? Well, they always are, but it's something bigger than being displayed. He was definitely killed. Definitely a sad situation. No matter what you believe, he's a human being, man. He's a family man. It's disgusting what happened to him, man. Scandalous. I really do feel for his family. So that's basically it, man. I just want to bring a point, man. I believe this is some sort of sacrifice for the globalists. My speculation, my opinion. Because they're always doing foul shit like this, and they won't hesitate to sacrifice people. That's part of their demonic beings. So. But that's all. Put it in the comments. of what you think, man. If you know something I haven't heard, I had a lot more shit in my head I was gonna talk about with that. Um, I just forgot. I had a long day, long week, but I'll reiterate that on the follow up of this show. I will do some. I don't know, maybe a couple weeks from now, or it could be a week. Just whenever I get more details of facts and stuff like that. But yeah, tomorrow or by this weekend, I'm gonna do a show on a survival first aid kit. This should be a good show, and a lot of useful information on there. It's always important to build an extensive first aid kit / trauma kit, all that. I'm going to get into that on my next show. So keep an eye out for that. That's it. Thank you very much. God bless Charlie Kirk and his family. Prayers are with you. It shouldn't have happened. That's it. New World Order survival guy. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next one.